Thursday night getting started. Scheduled start time of 7 p.m. for some League of Legends. ECU Tigers versus the Indiana Hoosiers. The Hoosiers won their district champ. They were the district champions last semester. So this should be interesting. They're undefeated. They're 3-0. And then our ECU Tigers, we are 2-1. Should be some good games. Get you back over to some highlights. Pull up some music. That way it's not just me droning on the whole time. Save my voice for when the action starts.
I don't know how like deep to go. I think like
go deep. We like deep.
I know.
No,
yeah.
deep is great.
Mic check, mic check. Hello, hello. Music check. Good. Not too loud. Mic check, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Looks like we're ready, folks. The teams are ready. Let's see if I can get us over here to the draft. Yep, there's the first band. Let me swap over. First band coming in is Ergot from the side of Indiana Hoosiers. The top laner, Nathan Lewis, very, very good on that champ. And they banned Darius. It's a good band. He's Lane Bully. Disengage. They banned Ibram out of the side of Indiana. Very good target band. Target banning one of their top laners and their jungler right there. Ibram, a very meta pick right now. Thanks to his shielding and supports. Shield's really strong in the meta right now. A silver ban. Maybe they like to scale with a late game composition is why I would think they might ban that. An Aphelios ban, the targeting Scorp Commander there. Basically, they're taking every most played champions of these guys in competitive and then just banning it one across the board so far. And we banned another ADC ban, Kaisa, a lane bully, and once it hits 40 minutes, Kaisa can carry the game, so maybe they play some Kaisa. Jarvan locked in for the Hoosiers, looking for some picks and early game invades, but Jarvan does fall off late game. Let's see how ECU responds with a Nunu pick. Clutch. Tinfoil Hat Man is a very, very good Nunu, like top 1% of the 1% of the world Nunu players, I think. Syndra going over to the hands of Eternal Frost. I'm liking this draft. It's a very, very magic burst potential in CC. Orianna locked in for the side of Hoosiers, looking to combo that with that Orianna Shockwave onto a Jarvan ult. They're going to try to lock some champions from ECU in, not let them escape, and get some big damage off and hopefully kill them. So ECU probably going to pick mobility on their next picks just because of the Jarvan lock-in, or disengage, something that can punish Jarvan when he jumps in. But the Hoosiers grab Unara. Great, great snowballing pick. Strong hyper carry ADC with a lot of damage late game. But it's like her range is so short. she has to be able to hit the targets so ECU can just jump on her. That's the problem with Unara or any ADC, really vain, short-range ADCs like that. Renekton locked in for the side of ECU Tigers. I believe that's Nathan Lewis on that Renekton there. Lean, mean, green, ancient crocodile machine is what Renekton is. Lulu banned out for the side of ECU. That would be super annoying. Lulu's a great champion. I don't care what the winner. She's great. Great champion. Great ban. Caitlyn ban coming out of the side of Hoosiers. It's a very strong pick right now. But banning ADCs against the ECU targets, I feel, is not a very smart decision because Scorp Commander can play multiple ADCs. It's just take your pick on which one you don't want to face, I reckon. A set ban out of the side of ECU. It's normally one of our top laners' preferred picks. And Jinx ban. See, that's they targeted 3 bans into the Scorp Commander here: Aphelios, Caitlyn, and Jinx. Which I'm sure he can play some other ADCs. There's plenty of them. But going into Unara, I found that Tristana does pretty decent, but that's not like a late game carry. That's a snowball potential. So I'm interested to see how this one plays out. Hello, hello. Mic check, mic check. I hope it sounds good. Jhin, yeah. Jin's about the best guy, one of the best ADCs in the game. As long as there's tanks in the game somewhere, whether they're on your team or you're going against them, Jhin is pretty decent. Great team fight ultimate, CC, great movement speed in and out. Hoosiers locking in Sion here. If that's a bad matchup for Renekton, but unless they decide to kind of camp the top lane and keep Sion down and don't let him get to 3 or 4 items. However, ECU does have a lot of CC, but they don't have a lot of true damage or health percentage damage yet. And I don't know what kind of support can give them that. Alistar locked in for the side of Indiana. It's a great, I'm not gonna lie, it's a great pick. Great team comp for the Hoosiers. Although they may not do enough damage, to be honest. They may struggle in the damage department with 2 solid tanks like Sion and Alistar. ECU should be able to kite or CC. If they play front to back, play the long fight, they will win. ECU will. Just depends on this pick from Andy. How is he going to counter them? The Braum pick. Braum locked in. Not gonna lie, I wouldn't have been mad to see, say, Zyra or something, even an Enchantress. But having a solid tank v tank, I believe ECU's team has more damage in like the late game, allowing Sion doesn't get to like connect with your carries. This should be interesting. Good for the game. Pretty evenly matched up through these teams' individual ranks. Just going to do a quick run through of the draft again. I'm going to shut up and let this music play. An instant load in there. I like that. Quick style. I need to pull on closer to me. Sort of blind. Anything too much. Can I pull this here? What's that do? Pull this. There we go. Oh.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Looking for invade, a 5-man grouping from in. Oh, this is ECU. Looking to catch someone from the Indiana Hoosiers off guard. Oriana will be able to see them once they walk out of that bush. They have been spotted. But being aggressive like that, getting the wards down, being able to track the jungler.
Minions have spawned.
Allow for your timings to be better. Alistar, though, did push forward and get a ward, so they will see this right here. No ward here, but they will see that Nunu's not here, so they'll just assume that a Nunu's starting here and working towards bot, as Jarvan is on the top side working towards bot. You know, in the bot lane, there's a lot of nuances. It's not just killing the minions. It's like, do you push the minions first for level 2? Do you just slow play, work your best to get the last hit of the first 3, then push or poke? Do you try to deny them as ECU is there, pushing forward, zoning them away from that wave, not allowing them to get CS and that important gold? He's on that. Ooh. Start up here a little bit, get a better view. Braum pushing forward, landed the poke on Yunara. You like to see a Braum hit those Qs. Very good dominance out of Renekton. That's what you want to see in that. Oriana, Sion getting poked out. ECU having priority in the first part of this game in every lane. See how they can translate that into a lead and into the mid game. It's 3 minutes in here. These jungles getting pretty close to the full clearing of their jungles. Should be on their last camp or two. It looks like they're going to be trying to make a play bot. You can see here though, Braum has vision right here in this tri-bush, so when Jarvan tries to come run by through here to gank or something, hopefully they'll be able to see it. Nothing bad will happen. Nunu, blue buff, half health. Jarvan right here. Jarvan is a little closer. Oh no. So they're getting it started before Jarvan's here. Because of these jungles will even decide to gank. ECU poked out to half, being overextended like that. It's smart and safe to just back away. ECU did secure the Scuttle Crab. It looks like as Nunu and Cinder are going to rotate over for the second Scuttle Crab. As Renekton has priority here, mid has priority, so naturally they had enough priority right there to allow him to kit Scuttle. However, now they're just going to last hit and slow push. Wave management is what it's called. Braum chilling right there, just out of vision, right? Alistar just out of vision. Still in range to get that XP. Like, they don't have to know where he is at all times. Sion almost out of mana. We'll have to back soon. The sustain from Alistar is just kind of not fair, to be honest. Alistar engaging onto Jhin. Braum trying to do his best to pill. Alistar going down to 40% HP due to the engage. Yunara at half health. That grenade and force shot from Jhin hitting hard right now. Is he gonna get this force turn around, hit the force shot? One. Exhaust from Braum onto Yunara. Flash from Braum. Disengage. Looks like Noonan and Cinder right here are gonna come here with a 4v2. If bot lane lives here, it's worth. However, it's gonna be a 2 for 2. The kill's going over to Syndra and Nunu. Your AP damage threats. Early game isn't the worst. Nunu coming here, back in action. Still looking to duel it out. Syndra low on mana though. Nunu going in. Oriana to half. Looks like Nunu with the flash out to save his life. Braum in here to response quick. Syndra out of mana. Renekton coming down to help clear the wave as well. It looks like Oriana is in the wrong neighborhood. Flash out of Oriana. Alistar knocks back Braum. Flash onto Oriana from the Renekton on the dash. That's the first 3 kills of the game over to ECU. Nunu with the snowball to disengage. Looking at this dragon now is ECU. Renekton able to get back top lane before he loses any minions. I'm going to jump back down here to Dragon as we secure that. And Scuttle Crab again to give us vision. ECU not letting the waves push past them is a smart thing, keeping that wave pushed. Stalemate there. Everybody's just farming at the 7-minute mark, looks like. Renekton just walking past him for this next wave. That Scion will TP back to wave. To lane. Stopping the back with the Jin W is very smart. I'll do it again. The Yunara W does land on Jin to slow their engage. Syndra with a level lead. With a kill under her belt. Off of Oriana's death as well. Looking a little bit beefy. Looks like they've done a lane swap out of Indiana. Scion going down here in the 1v2 to defend and play weak side. Renekton pushes the wave out. It'll be a slow push. That's not really considered a freeze. It'll slow push by the time bot lane gets back up there. They'll be ready to farm 2 waves. Could have a fight breaking out over Void Grubs in just a moment. Scions has his TP available, I think. But he's going to hit this tower and get some gold for some turret plates. And honestly, this is what you don't want right here, is Scion getting individual gold in a head right there by himself, to where he will outscale this Renekton even more. He is down CS though, so he's catching back up. Team fight going on. They've engaged onto Syndra. She knocks him away with her stun. Renekton leading the charge. Stuns out this Jarvan. Jarvan flashes away. Sonara on the backline pushing them away. They're not engaging. She's not doing damage. They're just going to kind of regroup here as Jarvan goes in half health onto the Void Grubs. Looks like they're just going to secede this away as Jin went bot lane. Keep that Scion from getting any more solo gold than he was. You know, ECU's got first dragon, so they trade Void Grubs. It's not the worst trade to realize that our ADC's better off getting farm in bot lane than dying over Void Grubs. Smart decision making. Party in the bot lane. Yunara falls in the tri-bush, face checking. At this point in the game into ECU, they're 3-man right here just pushing forward. They've already killed 1. Oriana Shockwave knocks him back. Flash out of Alistar. Cinder comes in to clean up Oriana. Nunu, Willip, and Braum still pushing forward to steal this red buff away from Jarvan and the side of Indiana Hoosiers. It looks like it's time right now. Laning phase isn't even over. It's only 10 minutes into the game, and ECU putting their foot on the gas on the boss side of that map and pushing forward into the jungle just to invade and get some kills and gold is something you appreciate seeing. Look at the vision on this bot side of the map from ECU, this is completely covered. And I love to see that. Jin out of mana here does pick up the plate, will back off. Nunu pinging out Dragon in a minute 15. That lets you know, farm your wave, crash it, push it to tower, back, come back to wave with wards so we can get ready for this Dragon fight. I love that from the jungler, that initiative to set the pace. As you can see, he backed, he's coming forward, and bot lane backed. Jin did. Braum probably doesn't have enough gold to spend yet, but he does have one ward. He should probably back for wards to get ready for this fight. See, it's 35 seconds. Well, 35 seconds for Renekton's teleport. They want him in on this fight. Things going down on the river at bot side as they're clearing out vision. Go back to the top lane. They've been duking it out for quite a few minutes here. They're both just above, they're just around 60% health. Renekton popped his ult before the dragon spawns though. As he charges into Scion Q, gets some poke off, winning that trade. ECU may just be able to get this dragon for free. It doesn't look like, well, they're pushing out bot lane, which is what you want to do, because now Jin has to respawn, pushing him out of position. In the top lane though, Renekton almost about to solo out this Scion. Looks like Snowball from Nunu is going to get the party started. It's engaged. Jin lands the W onto Alistar, not the proper target. Jarvan in the backline. It jumps over to this 1v1 solo fight. Flash out of Renekton, secures the kill. Brahmo, Yunara going in on Syndra, out of position. Surely Syndra doesn't die here. Yep, gets the kill. Alistar falls. They're chasing him down 1v1, one by one now. Orion is soon to fall. Nunu hot on her tail. Jarvan re-engaging with ultimate. Jarvan commits for the kill. The trade will die. Jin ultimate cleans up Oriana very nicely. The first two casts of the ultimate hit secure the kill. They will push forward and get some turret gold here. The mid and ADC off that fight. Dragon not picked up, but we're gonna get some gold on the other way back and come back and try to do it again. Looking at the farm, to almost end of the laning phase. Renekton with the substantial lead over Scion, which you would expect. We'll see how that goes in the late game, if he can ever catch back up. Nunu with a substantial lead as well on CS and gold. What we got here? Syndra ahead. Oriana doing her best to keep up in farm. Jin finally pulls ahead in farm and gold with these kills. Bounties on the side of ECU all across the board. Mid being pinged hard onto this Oriana as they collapse. You know, I want to see this. Oriana in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Wrong neighborhood. Alistar waddling up behind Oriana. Bad timing, bad position. One person's dead. It's time for Dragon. That's all it takes, is you cannot fight a 4v5 without your mid laner and expect to win the fight. So they will not engage on that fight. They will give Dragon. Two dragons go to the side of ECU. That's an Ocean Drake and a Mountain Drake. A little bit of tanky, a little bit of hill. Excuse me. It's very great while you're ahead. Top lane's kind of boring to watch. I'm not gonna lie. I love top lane. I play top lane. It's really fun when you're up there. But it's just a boxy max, throwing jabs the whole entire time, waiting for a jungle to gank. Syndra about to pick up the first tower of the game. Just another objective over to the side of ECU. They got the first 3 kills. They've got 2 dragons. They should be able to get the upgraded boots soon. I don't know if they need one more objective or not. Let me hit in and bring up these timers. As Rift Herald spawns is 20 seconds, and that's why you see Nunu on the top side of the map, ready for that objective.
Nope, sure don't. Wow.
I bet. Almost. Higher.
Nunu coming in the middle of the snowball, just try to catch this Yunara. Will miss. We'll get Jarvan ulted under tower. Alistar with the double knockup, the flash out from Nunu. The CC coming in on Alistar, keeping him at bay. that Syndra just chunking this Alistar. Jhin ultimate coming up, picks up the kill, clean. Oh, devastating shockwave from Orianna. Nunu just barely lives. Cast is all. Ram walks in. Yunara falls to the Syndra. Orianna, chunked. Just got back to lane, half health immediately after getting picked in the previous fight. Will Beck is going to fall behind 2 levels after this death to Syndra, after Syndra farms one more way. Sion in the top lane. Jarvan backing. Nunu stopping him. Jarvan EQ'd over the wall. Rift Terror will be started by ECU. See, they get a kill, they poke you out, and they go to the objective. It's not just running towards the objective, and they're playing their lanes normally. It's just a well-timed gank from ECU. Sion, you can't contest that, buddy. It's smart to walk away. Can you press tab every now and then just so we can see stats? Yeah, sure thing, Connor. I can't really hold it though. Renekton going in on Sion, tickling him, doing 20% of his HP off of one combo. Sion with a Q does 10% HP in response. All right, back to the mid. As you'll see, laning phase is over. This is what you call the mid game. As the carries come to the mid lane to farm for safe, easy gold. See, but Yunara can't push past this raptor point right here. ECU pushing into the red side jungle, the bot side jungle of Indiana. Nunu coming in, dropping a ward audaciously, I might add, right in their front of their faces. Will walk out though, just want to get the vision, make them waste some of their resources, I'm sure. Going back to this mid lane, Nunu throws a snowball at the tower just for fun, maybe signaling, hey, I want to get this. As Renekton continues the pressure, Syndra continues to farm. Looking at the stats here, Syndra's lead growing, Nunu's lead staying static, Sion slightly catching back up, but not really. Only one item completed, looking to go for that Bramble when Renekton doesn't even do auto attacks. It's more passive against that Jhin. Nunu just wanting to start a fight. Will get engaged on by Jarvan for fun. I mean, not really going on right now. Not much going on right now as we approach 18 minutes. Infernal Drake in 2.5 minutes. Atacon in 2 minutes. Just farming, trying to get a second or third item right now, and getting ready for that Dragon and Atacon fight when they spawn together. Maybe get a couple picks, get a little extra gold along the way. Top lane, just doing top lane things. Here's the vision. This jungle entrance right here. Rom just waiting patiently. Orianna in the spot lane. Top lane's the only thing where anything's going on right now. It ain't much going on there. Except a little bit of farming. A little bit of poking. Ping's going on the bot side. They will let that Rift Herald off. Great distraction point right as the dragon spawns. He's going to set the Rift Herald off and run straight at the dragon. Someone has to respond to that Rift Herald, or it can take 2 towers on its own with a wave. They're pinging top. All across set is red pinging that way. Oh, they're letting him know. They're coming for the trade. They're trying to take the crocodile down. Dragon secured. Let's see what this crocodile's got. He's level 14. Big ultimate. Gets a Q off. They're going for the tower though. He's targeted Jarvan, flashes out, healing tremendously. Flashes out of Alistar and Jarvan. Renekton is a tanky boy. Well, that's a free consolation, a pickup on that of a kill onto that Renekton. The wave crashes, it will reset in the middle in about 1.5 to 3 minutes. But at the same time, ECU not willing to just let that go. Trying to push this mid and get another kill. Syndra down here gets a tower. That's 1,000 gold over to Syndra. Cinder's probably about to buy their third item, and we'll come back and just absolutely burst this team of Indiana. The Hoosiers. It's a solid game right now. ECU up by 5k gold, 15 kills to 4. 3 dragons to none. Void Grubs went over to Indiana. Now, team fight might start right here as Jarvan falls to Scorp Commander just like that. Looking at the items, Scorp Commander has 2 completed items. Syndra with 2 and some components. Everybody's on that 2 item mark and some components. Nunu picking up Warden's Mill and Negatron Cloak. The 2 most efficient items you can purchase for the amount of stats they give. Right, for like a little over 1,000 gold, for like 1,200 gold, 1,300 gold, you're getting 95 armor, right? Yeah, that's huge in this setting. Yeah. Mad nutty. Jin's still just a little bit behind in CS, but with the amount of kills he's gotten, he's well ahead in gold. Braum, 2 items completed. Alistar with 2 items completed. Big old tanks. Vision score 47, 37. Braum winning the vision scores. This Orianna with 6 deaths was caught out like 3 times in mid lane due to just a Goomba squad of 3 to 4 men from ECU collapsing. But her jungler and support not having vision or aware, her ping though, is kind of odd to see, to not match that agency, that map presence, and just allow that happen. It's tough. It's a tough game sometimes. ECU got a good draft. Hopefully they can end it before Lunara and Sion becomes a problem. Because I feel like at level 18, if Sion's full build, he can just walk it, the enemy team, and half health the squishies, but reaching Syndra and Jhin is a problem. Lunara W landing, or like, yeah, W landing on the Braum there. Sion pushing forward on this Renekton. Renekton just checking the buffs to make sure it's okay to fight. Syndra catching Orianna out. Jhin collapsing, one-shotting. Absolutely 40% of Orianna's health in 1 auto attack from that Jhin, and it wasn't even a 4th auto. More boxing out of this top lane. I know Renekton's probably having fun. Just getting to play the game, box him out, gets him to half health. Has full rage. Watch the rage. Uses it on a dash to try to get away from the tower to not get ulted by that Jarvan. Renekton doing really good damage to that Sion. ECU pushing in mid lane. That 4th shot from Jhin even hits the towers hard. Holy. This Scorp Commander, 8-1 and 5. Poised. Disciplined on this Jhin. I like to see that. At the 23-minute mark, there seems to be another lull in the game. Looks like Dragons and Infernal Drake, so it's going to be an Infernal Soul in 30 seconds. A little lull, then the next objective is Baron at 25. Jarvan down here trying to get some vision so they can make an attempt. This is kind of like their last stand. They can't let ECU get this buff. Because that's an execute buff from the Infernal Soul, I believe. And that's just more damage to an already ahead team. 37k gold to the side of Indiana. 46k gold to the side of ECU. They're up 9k gold going into this 4th dragon fight. Nunu looking to engage with the snowball here as per usual. Lands it onto the Orient. Jhin W. Jhin ultimate to get it going. Jarvan all. Syndra guarding Jhin, not letting anybody get ahead of him. They flash in on the Syndra, the Sion. Sion lands a 2-person cube. Shut down the Syndra. Sorry, I had to drink. Jhin looking to clean this up though with Nunu. As a solid 5v5 team fight. Orianna on the run from Renekton. Renekton picks up the kill, looking to rejoin his fight. Sion's dead. Just gonna kite that out. I will rewind it, get a better look at this team fight. Because I had to take a drink, my throat's getting dry. Ping's going on in the river. ECU positioned just at the choke point of their jungle, which is good with Nunu all Syndra. Look at their Nunu goes in, hits the Syndra. You think Orianna just dies here. Boom. Jarvan goes in, ults 2-man. Syndra flashes out. Nunu ultimate. Half health Alistar. Yunara has to flash away from the Braum. Braum not protecting his team, looking to zone. That's okay. Boom. Renekton's seen here. He's going after the Orianna. Just gonna chase her down. Let's speed back up. It's a good fight. That's right, Eagle. Andy pinging Alistar and Jarvan. I don't know if he wants them as targets or just saying, hey, let's keep these guys away from Syndra. As the CS lead just continues to grow everywhere but the mid lane, but 8 deaths onto Orianna. Not doing much in these team fights. That's for sure. But that's the problem, because Alistar's engaged, Sion's engaged. Like even in that fight, you see Braum, who's engaged but disengaged, push forward to zone the carries out. Lost his life and 4 could have just been zoning the tanks, but they won the fight, so see how this can be played better. See how this fight goes. Braum ultimate slows them down. They can't even move. Jarvan EQs away. That's a good way to start the fight as Renekton goes in, gets bounced back by Alistar. Braum goes in with a shield. Redemption out of the side of Indiana. Nunu getting chunked to half health by Orianna. They're going to run away, disengage, look to re-engage. This is a long fight. Renekton going in, getting all he wants. Jhin ultimate. Straight down the river. Huge Orianna shockwave. Will it be enough? Spinner just falls, but Nunu's ult does enough damage for Jhin to get the double kill. Renekton killing everything else in the back line. This will be Baron. Per usual, let's back it up. And this time, let's slow it down. It all starts with this blue buff here. Channeling the Hex Flash. They're getting pincered. They know they're there. Sion engages. On to Nunu and Braum. That's exactly what you want. Carries in the black line. Playing back to front. Orianna has to teleport from bot lane here. Stand behind Braum. Hits the ultimate. 3-man ulti. And lands the Q. Jarvan getting dunked by Syndra. EQ's away. Orianna teleport coming in. You can see it on the bottom of the screen. Renekton getting CC'd. Yunara trying to do damage. Braum blocks it. Nunu re-engages with the snowball. Orianna coming from the backside. This shockwave's absolutely huge from Orianna. Well, that's not right there. Okay. Ravage the Nunu. That's where he runs away. Jarvan re-engaging. They're chasing. They think they've got something. They've got him poked out. They're in a better position. Sion goes in. Stunned immediately. Gets pushed back from Syndra. Renekton goes in. Boom. Jhin ult. Landing in the back line. Sion instantly dies. There's that beautiful shockwave from Orianna, though. Into the Jarvan ult cage. Orianna falls. Boom. Syndra falls. That's okay. Jarvan falls to Nunu ult. Renekton gets the Alistar here. Sion, just a beefy boy, excuse me. It's just a Sunfire Sion. And I didn't need to spare. Typical items. Speed back up. They got the Baron. Instantly pushed mid. Didn't even back with the death timers. That first base tower. Get that first inhib. Get this base tower. Executing. You have waves. This wave will be here in a little bit, but Boom, boom, boom. Take that out. They're all respawning. You have to back away. They're instantly going to recall. Smart. Together. Hopefully no one gets caught out right here. Jarvan's sprinting at him. Throw the E, man. Braum will sacrifice his life so that Nunu can get away with. That's cheeky. It's okay, that happens. Support lifestyle. Here, go, run, I'll die. Chalk McBrecken and Andy. Ricochet Poya. Ricochet Poya. They're definitely doing good. Pulling up the stats here. Looking at Corp Commander, 13 kills, 1 death, 9 assists, 4 items, upgraded boots, absolutely massive on Jhin. I know anytime I play Jhin and I get to this point in the game, anybody that walks in my range on this 4 shot here, pop. They should die. He's not going to be able to find anybody. Cinder pushing up that sideline. Renekton, opposite the side of the Baron, pushing out. Has TP. Sion has to defend those waves. Has TP, can't go in. But this should be a free Baron for the side of ECU. It should easy. They unlocked 2 minion waves and they got this one pushed. They should be doing Baron. But they might want to get a kill or 2 before they just go lock onto it. I know in the olden days, anytime someone showed bot lane, it was time to do Baron. But with the TPs now, you kind of want to get a kill or 2 before you start it, just to be safe, right? Playing the statistics. Jarvan using the flag for vision. Renekton on the flank. Flash out of the Syndra. Instantly deletes Unara. Jhin ult from the backline. Renekton going in. They got hot and heavy in the action real quick before Indiana could even respond. Before they even knew what happened. Killing the tanks now for Indiana. ECU's in a hot pursuit. They should either end or pursue to do Baron. They're pinging in. They're pinging the base. As they go in flash for flash for flash. Orianna will fall. Or maybe. They don't have the minion waves to end just quite yet. But they are here. They got three minions. 5 minions. That's enough. Orianna falls right there. Let's back it up real quick. That Jhin W, nasty. Syndra. Zonia from the Orianna. Braum jumps over. Yeah, Syndra didn't get the kill though. Game 1 of this best of 3, ECU picks up the victory. A valiant effort out of the side of Indiana. You cannot discredit them. They had some good plays. Good. They did have some good Jarvan Orianna combos. To me, it just looks like they may not practice that enough. As you only 7k out of Jarvan, 11k out of Nunu. AoE ultimate. Jarvan has to be more active in better situations. Looking at this match breakdown, damage numbers, that Renekton just battling that Sion the whole game, doing the most damage there. But Scorp Commander on this Jhin, like I pointed out a few times, ends the game at 15, 1, and 11. That bot lane, the mid lane out of Syndra and Nunu, their roams, facilitating the map with that Renekton being an anchor and a macro piece, allowed ECU to just walk around the map and gather objectives at their leisure, winning this game. That's it. I'm going to swap it back over to some spooky lo-fi, hit on some highlights, and take a short break as we get ready for this next game.
I use multiple AI tools for school, but when it comes to writing, I trust Grammarly. First things first, it's always best to go into
Testing, testing. Tell me about the day the world went.
First band coming out of Indiana, again, Ergot, targeting Nathan Lewis in the top lane. Darius, band from ECU. Ivan, band again out of Indiana. I guess they voted against Fearless or not Fearless because they're banning the same things, but I guess if it's only played, it goes to the original ban phase. Yeah, that's how that works. So they shouldn't be able to play Syndra or Nunu again. They won't be able to play Orianna or Jarvan. They're still going to ban Sivir. Great wave management, speeding up a dive top in front of her, scaling for late game, something you don't want to play against. Banning Aphelios from Indiana, again targeting Sport Commander. Although they banned 3 ADCs last game and then he just popped off on Jhin. Set banned for ECU. Wukong locked in for Indiana. You usually see that paired with Orianna. Even Nocturne paired with her. Jarvan, though, didn't quite work out for him. It's unfortunate. Zach locked in for the side of ECU, which this is known to be a flex pick. Can go to top lane or jungle. Jinx locked in before the second bans. They want to get Scorp Commander on a better, even more confident ADC that he plays. Kaisa locked in for Indiana as well. They were not able to they weren't able to ban those out. Morgana locked in for the side of Indiana, which is crazy. Her solo queue win percentage is wild. However, I haven't checked her competitive win percentage. She's very low range, but is very good at zoning and playing those jungle fights and perimeters and around towers with her ultimate. Morgana Q, just that locks people down. It's nutty. But if Wukong's able to get angles with this Morgana going in, it could spell disaster for ECU if they're able to get on top of this Jinx late game. But judging how good Scorp Commander is on Jinx, should be a good game. Silas band for Indiana. I wouldn't want to set off Morgana ult or Wukong ult onto a silence either. Mordekaiser banned and Malphite. They may be looking to go more of an AD comp here. Just not wanting to deal with Malphite alt on top of Wukong or Mordekaiser alt taking out Jinx or anybody he points and clicks at. It's a good choice, good bans. Last ban for Hoosiers. How will they target ECU? And it looks like the draft may have messed up because I don't see a champion here picked for ECU. It's just a bug though. They banned Galio. Galio Jax. Nutty engaged. It's a good ban. Mundo locked in for ECU. It's a brave pick. Casante locked in for Indiana. Not too fond of the Casante versus Mundo matchup, which again, Zach, Mundo both can jungle, both can top lane. However, I expect to see Mundo in the top lane and Zach in the jungle. Rakan locked in for Indiana, looking to protect this Kaiser. A lot of CC on the side, on both sides, to be honest. Great drafts here. Zach jungle, Mundo top, Jinx. Both of these teams scale. Morgana scales, Kai'Sa scales at 40 minutes. She just kind of does true damage mixed. Wukong wanting the win early, but this ECU Tigers team, the longer the game goes, the more dominant, more chances they have to win with Rise, Mundo, Jinx, and Zach. But I cannot see who their support picked. We'll tell here in a minute. Will say this, ECU ranked second nationally in the Division 5 esports. Even though we're a D2 school, we play against Division 1 schools. Colleges do not compete in a higher division than Division 5. So, it's about as good as it gets for college gameplay. We'll wait here for this draft to go through. Quick draft. Oh, it's Lulu, Jinx, and the Kai'Sa Rakan. Rise with that map control. Oh, it's Zach top lane versus Casante. Mundo mid versus Wukong. Morgana versus Rise. Wow. They did flex that draft pretty well.
Oh, the sky was gray and the waves were high. For me, Jackie. Oh, me head's in a spin and me boots have worn since I stumbled ashore from the thunder. I've seen jellyfish and sharks and I've danced in the dark. Now I'm off down the coast with no plunder, and it's gone for me grog, me jolly, jolly grog. Gone for me pipe and me Becky. Well, I spent all me pay with the lassies by the bay. Now I'm bound for the sea once more, me Jackie. Where is me coat, me raggedy old coat? It's gone for a pint and a wager. The sleeves were all torn and the lining was worn and the buttons ran off with a sailor. Where is me hat, me battered old hat? It's gone for a drum and a story. It flew off in the breeze while I danced on my knees, and it's drinking somewhere in its glory. And it's gone for me grog, me jolly, jolly grog. Gone for me pipe and me Becky. Well, I spent all me pay with the lassies by the bay. Now I'm bound for the sea once more, me Jackie. Where is me bunk, me creaky old bunk? It's gone for a song and a shanty. The springs all went flat and the rats stole me mat and the sheets ran off with me brandy. Where is me pride, me sailor's old pride? It's gone with the tide and the laughter, but I'll hoist up the sail with a grin and a gale, and I'll chase it again ever after. And it's gone for me grog, me jolly, jolly grog. Gone for me pipe and me Becky. Well, I spent all me pay with the lassies by the bay. Now I'm bound for the sea once more, me Jackie. Well, here we stand, the voyage done. He'll charm you with a roguish grin and vanish with the dawn, and leave behind a lullaby to sing when he is gone. So raise the hearty glass, lads, while there's rum still in the jar, and toast the bonny maidens and the jolly sailor and hail and the cold sea snows, led by the northern star. Hey! Soon comes the northern. On the 12th of July, 1893, we set sail from the fair shores of Bray, with a cargo of clocks and a dozen pet rocks, bound for Boston across the wide bay. She was grand and she gleamed like a vessel from dreams, with sails that could swallow the sky. She had 32 masts and a hull built to last, and we called her the Emerald Flame. Aye! We had 10 million crates full of pickled eel bait and 5 million barrels of jam. We had 3 million shoes and a parrot with news, and a goat who could play the tin can. We had 6 million hats and a dozen trained cats, and a walrus who answered to Dame. We had crates full of cheese and a strong ocean breeze, and the hold of the Emerald Flame. There was Paddy O'Rourke who could juggle a fork, young Seamus who danced on the rail. There was Flynn with his pipe and MacDougall the snipe, and a cook who once married a whale. There was Big Molly Phil.
Summoner's Rift.
C9 Slayer. C9 fan. Cloud9.
30
A
seconds.
Cloud9 fan. What is that? C9 Slayer. I just looked at the name. ECU grouping here. In this pixel brush, this little banana bush in the river. Banana bush, I believe that's what it's called. You got tri bush, banana bush, river bush, pixel brush. Pixel brush. I can't ping. Spread out for a 5-point from the side of Indiana to guard their jungle. Not allow that deep ward and vision to track the junglers like we did last game. Mundo jungle. Zach top lane. Rise mid lane. Not the best place to be walking. Gets the ward off. Scot free. That will catch Wukong as he passes towards bot, as both junglers opt to pass towards bot. Minions already crash first in mid lane. That's the times. Oh, here we go. Let's get it started. The laning phase. Probably some of the most intense yet boring parts of the game is the laning phase. Trying to last hit, micro everything. Zach taking some poke from Cassante. 6 seconds of CC from the Cassante there with just 2 abilities. Pushing for pressure on level 2 is the side of ECU's bot lane, and they get it as they look to go aggressive. Indiana, level 1 under their tower. ECU walking forward. There we go. There's the level 2. ECU with priority in the bot lane. In this mid lane, Rise managing his mana a lot better than Morgana. Zach here has a passive, so he looks to get some poke off any chance he gets. Game number 2. Let's get it going. Landing the Q is Rise. Can't get the tower to knock onto him, but heals and comes out with the advantage of health on this trade. However, Cassante looking to poke back. Rakan walking forward, getting some poke off as it flips back and forth here. Zach just hitting level 3, getting the level up. Cassante to level 4. There's the level 4 from Zach. Gets a little hill off, just running from this Cassante healing. Goes in. That's fun to watch. ECU crashed that wave at level 2. Now it's crashing back. It will reset the middle after this next wave, next couple waves, 1.5 minutes. So at the 4.5 minute marker, the waves will meet in the middle. Look at the collapse on this Lulu. Pick up the kill. First blood. They will not be able to do it. Great teamwork out of this bot lane as they return fire from this Jinx. Just poking both of them down. Not wanting to waste too much mana, though, to still be able to farm for items, as a kill is not guaranteed here. But the wave is pushing towards bot side as it reset right there after the crash. But now it's pushing back into ECU slightly. Mundo's at the top side of the map with a full clear, or he just backed and came back. He'll go from here. He'll go from these Krugs over here. So he started on this side. They respawned. He already got that. Okay, so blue side got that. Wukong just got that. This Scuttle Crab went to ECU. Rise with no mana needs to back. I don't believe he's back yet. Flash out of the Morgana. Misses everything. As we come active game, bot lane for Indiana pushing into the tower, gets a tower plate. No mana on Jinx, cannot fight. ECU at a point to where they had pressure at the beginning, but now they just need to back and get items, but finding that opportune moment, that opportune time to do so is tough. As Kaisa still has a mana biscuit and a slight mana advantage over Jinx. Zach winning the CS. Wukong coming out ahead, farming a little bit faster than Mundo, which we expect. Rise getting the better hand of Morgana. No flash on Morgana, by the way. A level advantage on Rise. In the bot lane, they're tied as well. Buying their first components, Sunfire Cape, Brambles. Although I don't know why you go Brambles into Zach, who's a magic dealer, just to stop the hill when he does auto attack, I guess. Okay, ECU finally backing. As the waves crash in middle, they won't miss too much CS, is the goal. You don't want to miss any farmer experience. Mundo pinging this dragon, hits it, pulls it back. Wukong is here in response as they're posturing. Dr. Mundo Jesse wants this dragon. But don't get poked out too much. You don't have your ultimate. It's not the, but no Wukong ultimate. Wukong coming to this fight here with no ultimate and just 2 long swords and a butter knife will not be doing a whole lot of damage. But Mundo does not have that ultimate to heal back up. So Wukong wants to go in. It's a 50-50. Jinx has to go out. Jinx flashes out, lives. Mundo dies. Lulu dies. Jinx gets away. Let's rewind it. Focus on the fight instead of the dragon this time. Slow it down. Back down here. At this point, as Mundo, your team's not here to help you. You can secure the dragon. That's good. But just going in here, level 4 Lulu. Rise is level 6. Jinx lands a slow on Morgana. Rise is trying to catch the Morgana. They have a vision ward. ECU wasn't ready with vision before they came to this dragon. Rakan engaging onto the Lulu. Gets the knockup. Jinx getting extremely poked out by Kaisa. Pops the barrier. Flashes away as Kaisa flashes for them. Lulu falls. Speed it back up. We did secure the dragon, but gave up 2 kills in the process. Cassante clearing the pink ward from Zach. And the bot lane of Indiana getting pressure this game, as they've taken a wave and a half advantage on CS.
lag, but they're saying you were.
My bad.
Okay.
All right, back at it. I've been talking this whole time. I apologize for that. It'll be time for the mute to come back. There's a delay. I apologize for that. Rakan finds the knockup. Engage from the Wukong. Second ult, Lulu ult in response. They are able to defend this tower. Zac down to half health, healing like crazy. Mundo coming up here for the gank onto Cassante. 3 tanks just having it out. Flash from Cassante will not be enough. Mundo picks up the kill. Dragon in a minute, that's a great spot to be. Cassante could rise and come back up, but what Zac's going to get here is hopefully a tower and pressure. ECU's backing to come set up for this dragon. As Indiana pushes forward towards the Rift Herald, even though Cassante's dead, they're just kind of get some vision control. Told him wait for the minute. Yeah, I got it. ECU may collapse onto Indiana as they just backed and they're all healthy with new items. Zac engaging in. It's a 50-50. Mundo secures it. As the team fight engages, Jinx picking up that first kill, charging forward as ECU. Zac going in, landing on the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa flashes out. Barrier. Jinx rocket just missing. They try to run under the tower, but it will not be enough. Morgana ultimate stuns the Mundo out. Zac re-engages. As the bot lane goes in here, they're looking, they want this Morgana. I don't know how much Rise pushing forward here yet. Just proxy the wave and let the next one come in. Cassante died and went bot instantly with a TP. Rakan looking to engage. Rise with 200 health, just duking it out. Rakan falls. Morgana falls. This tower falls. A great play by ECU. Pushing out that side lane. Cassante trying to push this tower will not get much done. Hextech Gate, you can get around the map even quicker. Mundo landing the first Q on the Cassante as they chase him down and look for blood. Cassante pushing forward, but overstayed his welcome. Should have realized that with his team not in position, he couldn't push that tower, and he wasn't going to get it as Cassante. Hextech gating away as the Cassante living. Rai is going to split push and create even more pressure as he has TP available, and his ultimate looks to be available as well. Pretty safe character to play. Great wave clear. Indiana pushing forward, still in this blue buff. Actually, Mundo secures it. Zac going in on the engage. Absolute mayhem. Jinx rocket fires. Misses. Morgana going in. Lulu flashes out. Jinx flashes out. Cassante finds his Jinx, but the Lulu ultimate saves him. Rise right next to him. Mundo zoning. Half health. Ultimate pulps. Mundo falls. Zac soon to fall after if he can get away. Zac gets away. Cassante almost falls. Rakan dies to Jinx. Jinx sped up, looking to get it on. Just misses the W. Rise ultimate. Where do they go? Behind them. Into Cassante. Terrible, terrible decision to ult on top of the Cassante as Indiana picks it up. You just got to slow play that fight there, but it's not the end of the world. It's only the second dragon over the side of Indiana. And as I was talking earlier, as I may have been muted, I was talking about how the scaling comp for the side of ECU just needs to farm up and not even really worry about these objectives too much, and knowing the power and strength they have in Mundo, Rise, Jinx, Zac late game. Because Wukong falls off. See here Zac just pestering this Kalista, wanting the kill. Mundo showing up. Zac lives with 50 health. Amazing. Not quite picking that kill up on Kai'Sa. She will stay. You know that is frustrating. They want that kill. Jinx up 4 kills to 2 onto Kai'Sa. Just 10 CS behind Zac up in CS. The junglers are tied. The mid laners, Rise is well more farmed. Morgana's farming champs a little bit more than CS than the Rise so far. But judging by how these fights play out, Indiana has one engage from Wukong, an engage from Cassante going in, and an additional engage from a flash ult from Morgana, and Rakan, of course. But ECU did put great CC at disengage. The disengage from the Lulu, the Jinx, the Rise stun, the Rise ultimate is great disengage. Rakan finding the knock up on a Lulu, not the best target to knock up, but just looking for something, some sort of play. At least they land their abilities. Looking for a vision fight. Yet again, the Atacon spawns in 20 seconds. Nothing else is up for 3 minutes. Atacon spawning as a minute. It's pinged out. Rise absolutely melting this Morgana. EQ, EQ, EQ. Going under the dragon. Flash for flash. Will jump out, but Wukong's there. And Morgana picks up the kill. Mundo is here. Will not be able to follow up on this anymore. I appreciate the play from the Rise. You got to respect it. As his death timer is not... It's an unfortunate time to die with that Atacon up, but ECU is going to try to create pressure elsewhere on the map with this Rift Herald. It's a great response, because you do not want anybody you don't want Indiana to get this Rift Herald, or this Atacon, as ECU doesn't want Indiana to get this Atacon. It's permanent stats. Dragon, permanent stats. Atacon, permanent stats. Those are the biggest objectives in the game right now. As Cassante looking to take this tower out, there's not much that Zach can do to stop him.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Cassante looking to run him down. It's a vision fight right now. Atacon Indiana is clearing out that vision by Atacon. We're getting a fight here, and they're engaging onto Rakan from Mundo and Lulu. Well, Kaisa is here. They look to turn to Kaisa, but she's able to use her E to sprint away. Rise walking around the backside of the jungle to find the Rakan. They will get the kill onto Rakan. They're looking for a reverse kill onto Lulu. Ult from Kaisa gets the kill onto Lulu, but Kaisa falls. What are you doing? Killing the support, giving up Atacon potentially as Morgana in this bush. ECU there, they got vision of it. Morgana drops a pink ward down. ECU cannot see Morgana. However, I don't know how much Morgana can do here as ECU leashes it towards their tri-bush. Thanks for the leash from the Morgana W. Mundo secures the Atacon with Smite. They will back away with their newfound stats. Atacon is, with the base, no flowers picked up, Atacon is equivalent to 300 gold worth of adaptive damage to each player on your team. So it's like 300 gold per teammate. So it's like 1,500 gold just getting that objective. And that's without collecting flowers. So you can see how important that is. ECU remaining calm. The gold's tied. The kills are tied. 2 dragons on the side of Indiana, 1 dragon on the side of ECU. However, ECU did just lock that Atacon. The next big objective is this dragon in 30 seconds. And then after that, in 2 minutes, the Baron spawns. As ECU is prepared for this next dragon, roaming down here as a 3-man team, Rise in the bot lane already. Zach pushing forward for vision, roaming over, allowing Cassante to just push that top side. Going break even in the dragons here. If ECU can secure this dragon, they will be caught. They will be ahead in just base stats, even if farms. Flash engage from the Rakan onto the Jinx. Flash out of Jinx. Lulu wall. Wukong engages. Will not be enough. Wukong going onto this Rise now with Morgana helping him. Rise trying to get away. Gets the ultimate. Does not get the ultimate off. Unfortunate fight out of the side of ECU with Jinx being caught in the mid lane like that and them not having the consistent damage to actually fight this team fight. Great pick out of Indiana. Great flash Q from Rakan on the side of Indiana. Cassante in the wrong place at the wrong time, zoning though, with his team backing him here, looking for a fight in this tight jungle corridor with the Morgana, as Indiana looks to disengage here at this moment. Indiana did pick up their third dragon. They got Hextech, Cloud Dragon. ECU picked up the first dragon, which it looks like it's a Chemtech, so it won't be a Chemtech soul. Jesse on Mundo doing what he does and getting that vision with them scuttle crabs. Everyone backing, looking to prepare for this Baron fight. Backing right now and running to the Baron with 30 seconds is a little, it's not ideal. Not fighting here and getting to this Baron with vision control is the main priority, as well as wave management. There's a lot to maintain in this game. As far as micro and macro, macro wins the overall. Micro gets you in a position to have a lead. But of course, you will want to kind of group and try to get a pick to make that Baron Nashor even safer. Jinx farming with rockets. Zac engages. Two-man knockup onto this Kai'Sa and Rakan. Jinx sending it. Kai'Sa goes in, falls. The kill going over to Mundo. Rise already on the Baron. Under vision, doesn't care. Jinx half health there, getting the better position, better Jinx. They're going to look to kill you and turn the fight. As the Baron's at half health, Morgana flashes in with the ultimate, gets like a three-man ultimate. Jinx falls. Mundo doing damage though. Cassante in the backline. Lulu bound to fall. Flash from Cassante. Wukong engages with his ultimate. ECU just getting... Jinx falling early in these fights is what's causing ECU to lose these team fights, although Mundo picking it up and Rise. They won the fight with Zac. Did my eyes deceive me? Let's back that up and watch it again. The longest fight I've ever seen in ECU right here. They're looking for that Jinx. Jinx runs into the Baron pit. Doesn't have flash though. It's hard which way you pick to fight in Rome. Morgana flashes in that ultimate, the initial hit. Yeah, Jinx falls to Wukong. Mundo going on that Morgana. Boom. Mundo pushing up the Rakan and Morgana. Zac just healing. Gonna re-engage here. Gets a knock-up onto Cassante. Cassante gets that damage off though. They all focus on Cassante. He flashed. Wukong engages. Mundo comes over. Just getting knocked about. Rakan went in. Finally kills Cassante. Double kill from the Rise on the Rise damage. It finally just clicked in. Mundo just going to walk him down at this point. Mr. Walk him down. He goes where he pleases. Farm. Dead Man's Plate. Sunfire. Movement Speed Boots. Seraphs. Roa. Kai'Sa, the only one alive. Sends her Q for the vision. He'll probably pick up the kill in this Rise, but will die in the process. And that's a 50-50 coin flip. She goes in. Gets the kill on the Rise. It's unfortunate. Your tanks are going to get the experience here. You know Mundo has a smite. Kai'Sa goes in. Kills the Mundo. Zac, though, gets the kill on the Kai'Sa. But a great attempt out of this Kai'Sa for C9 Slayer on the team of Indiana to pick up a double kill at the Baron there. That's two less members on the side of ECU with the Baron. That's your mid laner and your jungle without Baron. Although Baron's going to be most effective on Jinx as she goes to push these towers down with Baron buff. Our first target is this bot lane as well. Morgana landed the Q on Lulu. Look at that damage from Morgana. That is wild.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
They disengage as no one else is pushing on the side of ECU yet. They'll back by their items and look to push in a more coordinated group. Maybe 4-1 or 1-3-1. I don't know. Let's see. Zach in the top lane with the Baron buffs. So we'll be dueling this Cassante as he tries to push. ECU grouping in this bot lane as Dragon comes up in a minute. I would look to see them push toward Mort's tower, although it might be hard to push into that Wukong and Cassante getting angles for the gank. Grouping on this bot side is jungle ADC support looking for a pick so they can get a more defined push. Dragon, the next dragon is huge because that would give the soul point to Indiana, which could totally flip this game around and give them the dominance that they need. Slightly behind in gold, but not a lot. Pressing tab to show the stats for all the viewers at home. Look at the item builds and the CS differences. Cassante ahead of Hyde. Mundo slightly ahead in CS. It's pretty much tied around the board. This is a great fight, great team. Indiana getting the engage they want, finding the bot lane, finding that Jinx. Triple kill onto Kaisa. Zach finally here to engage. Rise still alive though. Rise can do mad amounts of damage along with this Zach. Do you give? I think you give. As Indiana hasn't been able to push really many objectives. They're just not designed to push. They're designed to group and fight. Kaisa picks up a Zhonya's hourglass so that when she goes in with her ultimate, if she finds danger, she can press that button and give her time, her team to regroup around her. The key so far for Indiana has been these Morgana ultimates, Kaisa going in and bursting Jinx before the fight even starts, and these Wukong ultimate engages in the double. That has been the success, being able to find this Jinx in these team fights. They've got tanks, but they don't have exactly point-click CC, a whole lot of it, to keep Jinx alive in these fights. It's been unfortunate, but still with a positive KDA of 654. 3 items on the Jinx, 4 items on the Kaisa, though, with those 9 kills and that 10 CS. Mid laners, Morgana picking up most of the kills, Mundo picking up 6 kills as well. Soon to be a force to be reckoned with. He just got a spirit massage, looking to heal even more with his ultimate. Mundo goes where he pleases. Rise here looking to back. Has TP to T-Bay back in if there's a fight. Wukong backing. I guess the next objective will be Baron Nashor in 1 minute. So backing right now and getting vision as your hero's clearing out vision right now. Will get caught out. Unfortunately, he's clearing vision by himself. No one's there to help him. It's unfortunate. Cassante looking to engage onto Rise here. Rise just clears the minions with ease, and may just continue to chase this Cassante down. Cassante looking to engage. Rise got pretty far from his tower. Gets the knockup, gets the knockback. Rise gets the root. Has Cassante down to half health. Will not be able to solo him out. Indiana pushing this mid tower. Mundo, Jinx here to defend. Hopefully with ease, those Jinx rockets can clean the wave up just fine. But no one's in front of her. Just a T1. No problem letting that fall. They're pinging Baron in 20 seconds. Indiana backing. This could be the they get the tower. It's a lot of gold for Cassante, 1,000. Surely he will look to be backing. Rise going to stop the back, which is a smart play to keep him out of this fight. Hopefully your team can look to get a pick. As they find the Wukong, will be hard to chase down as the clone Mundo's Q just missing. Kaisa looking to engage, Jinx there with the W. As Rise chases his Cassante out, will not let him back and join this fight. It's a great play. Although ECU, why are you Jinx backing? May be able to purchase their third item. Indiana sees Jinx back and starts the Baron up. ECU here not even going to... Okay, they are going to respond. They're pinging it. But they just weren't fast enough. Kaisa shreds it. Morgana shreds it. Eventually you want to try to get some picks here and not let them get back to base to buy items. They just press recall. It is an accelerated recall here. Okay, they're getting the bag. ECU is going to respond. Is going to push this mid-wave tower. Jinx picking it up fairly quick. Dragon Soul onto the side of Indiana. Baron on Indiana. Indiana has all the buffs right now, but ECU has Atacon and Scaling. And the option of Rise and Jinx. They just have to get a solid front-to-back team fight where Jinx does not get picked out and die before the fight starts. If she can do that, ECU can win the fight. Engaging on the Lulu, a flash. Rise ultimate out. They're just going to run away and regroup to defend their base. Not wanting to take that fight and get collapsed on in the jungle. There's a full 5v5 in mid lane. Indiana approaches this tower. Can ECU defend? Wukong goes in, gets deleted. Gets Rise to half health there as they disengage. Morgana goes in with her ultimate. I heard Azonia's. Zac falls as Rakan and Cassante push forward. Mundo going in, will fall. Lulu and Zac left to fight Cassante by themselves. That looks like a good fought match from the side of Indiana and their objective control and getting picks before the objectives were able to happen. Zac goes in, but it will not be enough. Indiana picks up the win in this second game of the best of three, forcing a game 3. An exciting night of League of Legends tonight is ECU Tigers versus the Indiana Hoosiers, and it's tied in the series 1-1. Looking at the fight stats in the end game here, Kaisa doing 51k damage compared to Jinx 16k damage is the main reason ECU was not victorious. However, looking at the top laner stats, they're the same, but Mundo even getting even way more damage than the Wukong. It's just the Wukong's damage is able to find Jinx. He's able to connect with the right target quick enough. And it's very unfortunate that ECU did not pick this victory up. However, there's some good plays from both teams, and it's exciting. Let's go ahead and hit this. Get ready for the next game.
With a beard on a chin and a monkey.
We put it through the worst.
Oh, the waves crash high and the timbers creak, with a bottle in hand and a heart to seek. The stormy gale, she calls our name, a sailor's life, a devil's game. Heave-ho, lads, the wind does wail, raise your glass to the stormy gale. With the salt on our lips and the sea in our veins, we'll sail her wild, we'll break her chains. From the tavern's glow to the open blue, we sang of fortunes false and true. The concertina cried, the fiddle did sing, and the mandolin danced on to the ocean's end. With stomped boots and hearts so bold, we chased the tales the sea had told. Heave-ho, lads, the wind does wail. Raise your glass to the stormy gale. With the salt on our lips and the sea in our veins, we'll sail her wild, we'll break her chains. Heave-ho, lads, the wind does wail. Raise your glass to the stormy gale. With the salt on our lips and the sea in our veins, we'll sail her wild, we'll break her chains. The waves are wild, the sails are tight, the stormy winds howl through the night. With a tankard raised and a hearty cheer, we brave the deep, no room for fear. Hey-ho, lads, the tempest call, through the brine and spray we'll face it all. With fiddle and song we'll stand so tall. Heave-ho, lads, the tempest call.
All right, coming back to the action. And this pick band phase already. Indiana lacking in their bot lane of Ash Maokai. ECU responding with Caitlin Silas. Silas with a Maokai ult or an Ash ult can be devastating. Who's able to get in on that back line, do damage, or 1v1 someone in the side lane and create favorable advantages is Silas's goal in this game, as ECU looks to battle back and win this best of 3 series. Sejuani locked in for the jungle for ECU. That's a great pick in combination with a few top lanes. Let's see who they pick next. Although it's Indiana's turn to pick here. Male locked in for the mid lane of Indiana. Nico banned out. Although ECU is not going to be playing Nico, as they've locked in their mid laner. Not now. And they lock out Nami as well. Lilia banned. Hecarim banned. Both snowbally jungles there. Not wanting to give Indiana the chance to just snowball this lead and win the game. It's a good ban. Ornn locked in the top lane for Indiana. It's a tank matchup right there. Ornn usually breaks even. He does well in high ranked competitive. We can get it on those team fights. Let's see how ECU responds here. Rel locked in for Andy here on your hero in the support role. Rel can be very promising with the engage, giving Caitlyn a front line with CC. Hopefully Caitlyn can get to the mid game with a couple items. Push, secure these objectives. Aatrox locked in for the top laner. Aatrox versus Ornn is an interesting matchup. Aatrox having the most healing out of any character can just become an absolute monster in the mid to end game. Trundle locked in for the jungle pick, which is a really strong pick here because if he's able to just ult the Sejuani or the Rel, the Trundle will become extremely tanky. If Trundle is even able to touch the Caitlyn, it could be bad news for ECU. However, the kiting from ECU may be good. See how this plays out.
A lantern swing as the deck does creak. The sea's cold grip tries to make us weak. With concertinas wail and mandolins cry, we'll fight the storm till the morning's nigh. Hey ho, as the tempests call through the brine and spray, we'll face it all. With fiddle and song, we'll stand so tall. He ho, as the tempests call. At the taverns wait where the ale does flow, but the ocean's grip won't let us go. The salts and wind, they're in our veins. We're bound to the sea, its endless plains. Heave ho, as the tempests call through the brine and spray, we'll face it all. With fiddle and song, we'll stand so tall. Heave ho, as the tempests call. Hoist the sails, lads, the winds are calling through the foam and the gulls are squalling. Leave the shore where the lanterns fade, to the deep where legends are made. Oh, the rolling tide, she pulls us under, her voice a roar, her heart a thunder. Drink your fill of the salty air, for the sea takes all who dare. The deck does creak and the ropes do strain. The captain bellows against the rain. Mark the stars as the compass swings. Feel the rush of the tempest wings. Oh, the rolling tide, she pulls us under, her voice a roar, her heart a thunder. Drink your fill of the salty air, for the sea takes all who dare.
What if you were prepared for all those interview curveballs?
Lanterns glow on the wooden floor. Sailors laugh as they crowd the door. Voices rise with a rowdy call. Life burns bright in the tavern hall. Ale is poured and the songs take flight. Fiddles sing through the smoky night. Hands are clapped and the rafters shake. The dockside hearts are wide awake. Lanterns burning warm and tall. Raise your voice in the tavern hall. Sing it loud and drink it all. Lanterns in the tavern hall. Lanterns burning warm and tall. Raise your voice in the tavern hall. Sing it loud and drink it all. Lanterns in the tavern hall. Lanterns burning warm and tall. Raise your voice in the tavern hall. Sing it loud and drink it all. Lanterns in the tavern hall. The ship is tied, the anchor's down. We trade the sea for the harbor town. A pint of ale for the weary crew. A dockside night for me and you.
All right, let's get back to it. Back in the action. Game 3 decides the victor.
Welcome to Summoner's
Here we go.
Ring. 30 seconds until minions spawn.
5 point here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing from this side of the team. As you can see, they're lined up. 1, 2, see, but here a little 1, 2, 3, 4. It's postured out here across, not allowing for any deep wards or
Minions
invades to happen early on. I'm excited to see this Aatrox into this Ornn. I've never seen Nathan Lewis play the Aatrox before. Very solid pick, very strong pick. Starting it off in the mid lane, Silas misses an ability and still wins the poke. However, it's extremely hard for this in this matchup as Mel just gets that ranged poke often. Here's the first to hit level 2 here. Good poke from the Ash there. On the side of Indiana. Ooh, Aatrox landing that third Q, chunking Ornn down pretty good. ECU winning the level 2 trade. getting priority as well, roaming out for a ward. Doesn't want to get ganked, as they were not able to track the jungle pathing. However, the jungles are mirroring each other. Sejuani with a bit faster clear than Trundle right now. Warren being poked out heavily by Aatrox. ECU with priority here, however, Ashe just tearing Rel up. But Caitlyn getting pressure is exactly what you want to do. Caitlyn under her tower is no fun to play if you've played Caitlyn before. Whew. Silas being poked out, even though Mel still has a health pot, so winning the early pressure is what you expect in that matchup. Hovering around the bot lane are both of these jungles, as Trundle's going to go for the crab. Sejuani's going to set up right here. Maokai gets the ward. They look to engage before this Aatrox is here. Flash out from Ashe as they look to engage on a Maokai. Maokai's dead. First blood going over to Caitlyn. Rel flashes out. Sejuani flashes out. Trundle flashes in bravely. Someone press sprint. Sejuani falls. However, Rel gets the double stun. Caitlyn just picking up this Trundle. Mel rotating down to the bot lane, but it looks like it's a little too late. However, she set that roam up well, but Silas will push and get pressure first, deciding not to back. Will back after pushing that wave, I'm sure. Trundle backs away. 2 kills to 1, 2 going over to Trundle. First blood, however, going over to Caitlyn. And she decides to stay and farm for a better purchase. Maokai running down mid now for some reason, rotating early. Maybe believing that this Ashe is able to farm on her own. But if Rel connects, she will die. Jungle game issue, game tweaked, all good now. Looks like the game has paused. We jump back 15 seconds and maybe that'll fix it. Sejuani getting that top crab. Orange is trying to farm safely at this point under his tower, as Aatrox has complete control over this lane, as he will hit level 6 first. Starting to build his CS lead. Jungles are tied. Mids are essentially tied, with Mel getting one more wave. Then Silas. Ashe with one more wave as well. Caitlyn out of mana, will back. Will look to only miss about 2 waves. Rel should stay and hold the wave for Caitlyn, if possible. Silas looking to engage. Flashes. Flash out of Mel. Oof. That's close. 50 health. Looking to stay to just finish up that wave. That's wild. Both these junglers pathing towards bot right now. As Rel's just going to soak this experience and hold the wave for Caitlyn when they get back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As this wave is slow pushing towards them, Rel best not touch the minions other than she has to. This is an inopportune back from Caitlyn. However, yeah, the wave's going to slow push into them, which is bad, which could cause a freeze, which could deny Caitlyn farm, but Caitlyn likes to push, try to poke them out under tower. So it's interesting to see there. Trundle down here setting up for this jungle. Sejuani catching Mel out a little bit. It's interesting to see here what they'll commit and what they won't, as ECU has pressure in the bot lane, able to be pincered. Here is Indiana. They can be pincered here. Setting up time, though, so that they can get the push back. We'll see what happens. Trundle pulling the dragon. Caitlyn and Rel pushing forward. Sejuani starting the dragon. Trundle looking for Silas instead. Silas steals an ultimate, goes in. Will die. Trundle almost dying, Silas falling. However, ECU will pick up this first dragon. Trading a mid laner's death for an objective. That's okay. That's perfectly fine to trade that death for that objective. Sejuani just getting the jungle crabs here. Andy rotating early, looking to get active. Caitlyn just free farming this mid lane now. Looks like they've opted to clear this and probably back as Silas just shoved back up. Top lane, Ornn and Aatrox still duking it out. Ashe crashing this wave fully with no one here to defend it. A little bit of bleeding going on. Nobody likes to do that. However, it happens sometimes. As the bot lane and mid laners are just behind in CS. Oh, the damage from the Silas onto the melt. Ashe arrow just barely missing. Misses its mark in top lane as well. That would have been a great hit if that lands. Pinging going on onto the Void Grubs. Sejuani's here waiting for their team. Rail's here. Sejuani going in, engaging on a Trundle. Rail jumping on Trundle. Mel over the wall. Looking to get the kill here. Yeah, the double kill. They both fall. Both Trundle and Rail die as they push out Maikai and secure the Void Grubs. Great execution on this skirmish from ECU in securing the Void Grubs and 3 kills. And at the same time, Caitlyn picks up a tower plate and a whole lot of gold for the Troubles. Catching back up in CS is Caitlyn over this Ashe right here. Great early game execution, even while being down in kills right there. By picking up those 3, they just secured the lead. Caitlyn doing the most damage flash. Ultimate onto Ashe. Ashe falls. Scorp Commander showing a dominating performance thus far on Caitlyn. 2-0. It's exactly where you want to be as Caitlyn at the 10-minute mark. With 62 farm, these players are averaging around 6 to 7 to 8 CS per minute, which 8 to 9 is ideally where you want to be at the end of the game. So most of these players farming very efficiently, especially Nathan Lewis in this top laner, as he just secured a little more than 8 CS per minute. It's phenomenal. You want to be at the 100 mark, but it's extremely hard to do. You got to pick up an extra wave from somewhere and not miss anything. The Silas getting tanky now, putting the Hextech rocket belt, able to withstand some of this melt poke and clear the wave. And look to get aggressive as Trundle opens up on this top side of the jungle, maybe looking to thwart the Aatrox or just farm down to bot lane. We're going to flip over to bot lane here as they've come back to the 2v2 lane. Silas moving up to this top lane. I may have to jump up here quickly as they look to tower dive this Ornn. This could be risky as we don't exactly know where Trundle is, even though we had a ward there, so we've seen him path away, and we're going to look to tower dive as this Silas onto this Ornn. This could be a big play right here. Ornn stopping his back. Silas shows himself. Ornn knows he's getting dove. It's just what is he going to do about it? Silas steals the ult. Ashe misses the arrow. That's fine. Ornn ultimate coming out, hitting Silas. Silas actually stealing the Ornn ultimate and using it to get the kill. The kill going over to Nathan Lewis. Still more action. Mel ult. Silas gets away. Aatrox goes in with his ultimate. Reflect from the Mel kills Silas. Sejuani's here to help. Gets picking up the kill on the Mel. Hopefully everything's not in vain. Trundle just beating on the Sejuani. Sejuani dashes away. Trundle pillar. Trundle Q. Sejuani falls. Not the best engage. However, ECU still ahead on the kills. It was a 3 for 2. Not the best scenario. However, it's a play to be made, and some gold was gained. Denying even more farm to the Ornn. This Aatrox scales his lead even more. The Caitlyn now ahead into the Ashe, has Ashe completely under tower and poked out and having to back as Caitlyn picks up all the turret plates on this tower, filling himself with that gold. not deciding to overstay and push for that tower, will back and look to make another assault in just a moment. Aatrox up a level, Sejuani down a level, Silas down a level, however, Caitlyn's up a level. So your side lanes for ECU right now are the ones that are ahead. Ashe looking to engage with the Trundle run. Maokai flash under tower, knocks the rail out. Maokai out, rail falls. Silas is here in response. Misses the Ashe Hour. Mel harassing the wave. Maokai gets away with 50 health. As Indiana looks to set up on this next dragon. Both top laners have their teleport, so it's interesting. Aatrox in a better position to teleport to this dragon. Although ECU getting the first one, they're probably just going to give this second one and just collect farm, as they're not in the best position. The Hex Gates activate, which it will be a Hex Tech Dragon Soul, as we've given more mobility on the map, thanks to this right here, these Hex Tech gates. They go all the way across the map, certain spots. A little vision ward. ECU wanting to get vision over here on this top side of the river for when Herald spawns, I believe.
Turret plating will fall soon.
Silas on the mid lane versus Mel. Silas stealing Mel's ult, but it doesn't do enough damage. Mel with the sidestep. Silas with the kill on the next activation. Silas will push this tower out. No, he's going to let the minions take it as he looks to back and buy. Sejuani moving top lane. Pressing that B button. Or is she? May look for another tower dive or a gank onto this Ornn as Maokai's in the mid lane. The tower is... It's one sliver. Pick up the first tower already. Why are they not rushing to pick that tower up? I guess it falls soon. Stressing me out. Tower's got a sliver of HP. That's crazy. Caitlyn easily clearing the wave now at this point in the game with her Q, level 9, with an item and a BF sword, doing a lot of damage compared to this, the Unital's Ashe. Caitlyn finally extending their lead and farm coming to the mid lane. Silas is doing his best to catch up to the mill. And it's happening here in this mid game as ECU rotates around the map and looks for skirmishes. Maokai, they're looking to engage on the rail. Rail jumps out. Smart decision. As Indiana postures around the Rift Herald. Sejuani engages onto the Trundle. Ornn ultimate comes out. Rel flashes, dies. We got a TP from Aatrox as he's looking to get active. Silas into the backline onto the Ashe. It is getting shredded. Silas falls. ECU on the disengage. The retreat. Caitlyn trying to do damage as they do kite away. Finding this Mel now. Giving the Mel 20% health. One more shot. Sejuani almost falls to the Mel ult. Caitlyn ult coming out. 10 health from the Mel. This whole time, Trundle and Ornn, the tanks over here, the jungle top lane, are doing Rift Herald as ECU is all poked out and forced to back. That was a good play from the side of Indiana right there. Silas not quite having enough damage right there. Once he gets his second items, I believe he'll be more successful, I hope. Or maybe next time the Aatrox is able to dive the back line with him. So it's a weird front to back fights with the jungles and top lanes diving and disengaging. That's what team fights are all about, and they're the hardest part of the game. Both these teams solid at team fighting, finding angles and ways to engage. Silas surely will take this tower down here, which will allow, I don't know if ECU has enough objectives, but this might allow the boots upgrades. Ornn half health, Aatrox still with a level lead. 30 CS lead. Ornn dashes away. Silas looking to engage. Poking each other out. Ash, looking towards this mid lane, drops a pink ward on the dragon. Smart for that objective. As the dragon comes up in 50 seconds, right now is when you want to back, buy a ward, and then go to the objective. However, wave state and wave management sometimes does not allow Silas landing the hook, but deciding not to engage, looking by this wave as Trundle sprints down the jungle to try to threaten, but Sejuani here in response. Maokai coming in now. Silas said he's going to back. Flex hatch. Flashes. Might have been a mispress. Wait for Ornn. Unleash teleport. Pings the Ornn. Ornn says he wants to fight, but he has teleport in a minute. This dragon will be gone by the time Ornn has teleport. Let's see if they can stall long enough for him to join the fight. As Aatrox backs with no TP, I think you just push there and get the tower, as you're not going to make it here in time. However, he will be here for the fight after the objective. Indiana pulling this dragon. It will melt fast. You either have to give it or go. Ornn ult lands on one target, but they will secure the dragon. The second dragon for Indiana. Maokai ult. Ornn goes in onto the Rel. Rel dashes out. Silas goes in. Has a Mel ultimate. Aatrox in the mix of it with his ultimate pop doing damage. Rel jumping in with a 3-man knockup. Rel dies. However, ECU picking up some kills. Ash falls. Caitlyn's still alive. Aatrox still in the middle of him doing damage. Does fall. Caitlyn, the lone survivor for the side of ECU, casting their ultimate just to try to get some damage off. 4 kills onto the side of this Caitlyn. It's a well done front to back fight. However, damage just not landing on one specific kill target. The damage was a little bit spread out there, allowing for Indiana to kind of survive and pull away from the fight and disengage. At the 19-minute mark here in this game, Atacon spawns in less than a minute. Mel half-health pushing out, backing, will run towards the Atacon as well, I'm sure. It's all about objectives in this game nowadays. Wave management and objectives. Your mechanical prowess allows you to dominate in laning phase, but then when it comes to the mid game and end game, your mechanics are still needed. However, you don't always get a chance to show them off, because you're 90% of the game, I feel, if you're a laner, you're catching a wave. Like, you have to catch a wave. You can't let them, like this right here, someone needs to be here to not allow this happen. Even though it's just a T1 tower, the dragon, you know, it's already down. There's no objectives, so let's try not to bleed. They still haven't picked up that tower for some reason. They will be here to defend this towards the Atacon. Aatrox with teleport available will be able to knock this tower down and get to the fight. Male opening bot side, Ash and mid. This is a great time for ECU to engage and try to force something. However, you don't want to force something, but if you're going to do it, now's the time. Male in bot lane, Ash showing up on the angle right here to try to meet up with her team. It's a stalemate. It's a chicken fight. Mel hasn't shown in bot. She will. Aatrox not using their teleport. Going to walk over to this mid lane, get some more farm. Hopefully just push. Just push mid. Even though Mel has a teleport, just keep pushing. And make them force a play. They start it or they back off. Ornn taking some poke from Silas. Silas has the Maokai eye. Eats the ult from Ash. Ornn ult. In response, Sejuani ult, Maokai ult on both teams. It's hard to call. Rel going in, picking up the first guy on a Maokai is Caitlyn. Beautiful triple man knockup from Rel. Just doing the damage. Aatrox in the mix now. Caitlyn fell to Mel. Mel, 1 health, so is Aatrox. Standing group there. ECU lost that team fight. Indiana picking up the Atacon. Okay, let's back it up. Slow it down. This is extremely hard to see. Everybody's clumped up together. Silas initiating some poke onto Ornn. Trundle hits him. This right here, this Ash, though, coming out of the fog of war to land this Ash arrow, starts the fight off. Sejuani goes in. The Trundle stuff. Sejuani ult onto Trundle to stop him. Maokai ult out of Silas. Maokai ult out of Maokai. See, Rail goes in, Sejuani stunning them. Silas going in. They pick up the kill on the Maokai, but instantly knocked up from the Ornn. Silas falls to Ash. That triple but the Mel damage, they're all stacked in a line. Everyone eating Mel damage there. The Rift Herald. Boom, Mel ultimate. Aatrox doing what he can. Caitlyn just getting melted by that Mel. It's unfortunate. Caitlyn doesn't have the items or the damage to 2 or 3 shot that Mel just quite yet. 2 items on the ADC. Ace out of the red team. Speed it back up. All right, Indiana secures the Atacon. It's a very intense game. Indiana up 18 kills. The ECU's 12. ECU down 3K gold. At the 22-minute mark, Dragon up in 1.5 minutes, Baron spawning in 2, or Baron spawning in 3 minutes, I'm sorry. As we look to progress from the mid game, the final moments of the end game, they transfer into the late game after Baron, so you can come out victorious. Mel pushing the side wave. We'll get this tower finally. Silas pushed that out, rotating back to mid. ECU should look for a fight right now. Death timer is starting to get long enough to about the 30-second mark. So if you can pick up a kill right now before Dragon, that's kind of huge. Sejuani finding Trundle, Caitlyn and Rel here in the response. But so are Maokai, Mel, and Ash. Ash missing the arrow. Maokai all. Rel taking the blunt of the damage. As ECU, the funnel point, Maokai going in, Silas going in the back line, almost finding Trundle. Ornn there with the knockup. Silas still chasing, finds the kill. Mel ultimate in response picks up a double kill onto Silas and the jungle, Sejuani. Aatrox here, not easy to push. Caitlyn stands behind him. They may have a chance. It's 3v3, although Rel is extremely low. Ash soloing Dragon. She's able to do so with just those 2 items. Fairly easy. ECU looking to collapse on this as the junglers are both dead. It's anyone's Dragon, honestly, but ECU just gives it away as it's a 4v3. It's probably not the best case scenario. Should have probably just gave that away. Now ECU looking to farm up before this next Dragon and this Baron that spawns in 1 minute and 10 seconds. Spawning in 32nd. This is about the time where we get active. Ash ult lands onto Silas. ECU looks to disengage. Silas falls to Trundle. Trundle's kind of fell out of the meta, but he's still relevant. Especially in the hands of Enoch's Rule here. Ornn, ECU looking to take this fight. Great CC from Rel. Just your mid laner is already dead. Caitlyn not connecting this whole entire fight due to the positioning. It's unfortunate as Mel looks to chase him down as they push over towards this Baron. This Ornn, the late game scaling from Ornn, upgrading items, giving them more stats than they already have. Upgraded the Sunfire Cape, the Triforce to himself, the Rabadon's Death Cap being upgraded. on the Mel. Not upgrading to the Ash yet. Ornn has only reached level 15, only able to give a couple of those out. This game looking like an uphill battle for ECU at the moment. Rel looking to stop the back of Ornn as Caitlyn comes up and tries to add some damage. Ornn just walking away. Caitlyn able to connect finally. Push the minions. There's flash out of Ornn, ignite out of Rel. Maokai and Ash just roaming around this red side jungle as they push mid lane, looking for a pick. Not gonna lie, a couple Ash arrows have missed, but a couple have absolutely allowed them to win some of these team fights. Mel level 16, Aatrox only level 14, Trundle level 16, reaching those little power spikes. Trundle and Ash together are a force to be reckoned with on these tower pushes. It's great siege, great objective control. It's beginning the fight for vision and the grouping around this dragon, as it is, if Indiana is able to get it, it'll be their fourth dragon in their Dragon Soul. ECU wanting to deny that if possible. Kind of grouping mid, posturing, looking for vision, looking for a pick. Both teams mirroring each other, however, Indiana coming out with the best, making slightly better decisions or slightly misstepping or stepping in the right position, or ECU misstepping has led this game to be what it is. 23 kills to 13 as Indiana leads versus ECU. Rel getting engaged on by Trundle and Maokai, able to jump away as Mel uses her abilities. Ash arrow onto Rel. They're using everything for the Rel. And then securing the dragon. ECU just kind of going for towers right now, saying forget the objective, let's take their base. Indiana just shredding that with Ash. Caitlyn trying to get this some tower damage in. Ult flash from Maokai onto Caitlyn. Mel comes in. Caitlyn dies. It's a valiant effort. Sejuani is tanky. That's all I have to say. Not going to live this. However, extremely tanky. Wow. Mel level 17, Silas level 14. Unfortunately, that Mel pick was kind of hidden. I knew when she first came out this year, she was extremely OP. Everybody couldn't handle the reflect, and then the ultimate, you don't realize that execute damage. It's not a common pick in competitive, but it's being played here right now, and it is doing really well. Opting not to go for the Nexus Tower as the mid lets their first tower and inhib into the mid lane. Indiana looking to back, spend their gold, as I'm sure they've accumulated quite a bit. 10 kills on Trundle, 11 kills on Mel. The Ash arrows connecting have been a successful story for the side of Indiana. When playing in a game like this, I often ask myself, how do I not get tilted? How do I win? Can win? What is the shining light for this ECU team? If I had to say something, I would say it's levels. Indiana opting to only take that first inhib down will allow ECU to farm some super minions in the mid lane. Now, some people think super minions, farming super minions, that doesn't sound like a good idea. However, these super minions do give more gold. So it gives, there's even more catch-up mechanics. And then the towers, how they're shining and they have these gold monies by them, they give you even more catch-up gold. So it's hard, it's tough. It's tough right now. It's a tough matchup. Good drafts by both teams. Indiana posturing on this top side, catching Aatrox out is Ornn and Trundle. Aatrox ult flashes. Will not have those available for this next objective, which is Baron right now. Mel opting to split push and allow her teammates to go for Baron. If ECU only either knew to collapse on Mel or to go for the Baron, looks like they're going to try to collapse on this Mel and hopefully take her out of the fight for this next push. This could be huge for ECU. However, Indiana's going to march it down mid lane, and at this top side tower, they're going to, Mel's going to back. They're going to give up on the chase. However, Mel has TP to be able to be back in for this fight, for this base siege, as ECU makes one of their last final attempts at stopping Indiana from pushing and winning. I definitely believe you use everything here. Everybody pushes everything and makes a final attempt. Ornn ultimate, flash out of Trundle, gets a two-man knockup. Silas ult, Ornn ult goes in, Silas dies. Great Rel CC groups him up. Aatrox going in, not able to do damage into this Baron buffed, Dragon Souled Atacon team of Indiana. ECU coming away short in this 3-game series. Not quite the victors of this match versus the University of Indiana Hoosiers. However, both teams putting on a valiant effort. Lots can be learned from this game. It was a great game to watch and to commentate. I'm thankful and grateful for the opportunities. Looking at this match statistics, Sejuani extremely beefy, not doing the most damage, but taking the most damage, as their jungler did as well on Trundle. But looking at the damage, Trundle just doing slightly more. But the real star of the show is this Mel, Ada on the side of Indiana, just doing 50k damage on the Mel. That is insane amounts of damage from a mid laner like that. Wow. Looking at the CS, Aatrox, Caitlyn, 290. With the most CS in the game, it just wasn't quite enough to pull in that lead to get the victory. Thank you for viewing tonight. ECU Tigers. This falls short of the victory against the University of Indiana. However, we will fight on. We will play a game. Close that out. Close this out. Spectating. I can't close the stream. I have to wait for the stream delay to stop. Sign out of that. Close that. Put it on this. Well, thanks for viewing tonight. These exciting matchups between these powerhouse teams for League of Legends and the esports. Like I said, here's the score right here in the, where's that? Between games displays. Right here, yeah. Well, I hope my delay was long enough. Didn't set up my OBS delay very long, but there's like probably 5 minutes. I hope, or is it 3 minutes? Oh well. I believe the delay is long enough, and that will be the end of tonight's stream. Time is at 9:40. GECU. Again, thanks for viewing. My name is Dustin. enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening.